In our last video, we showed how to set up the basic GameMaker Studio. We created an empty project just using the tutorial RPG because that gives us a lot of default images and styles and sprites and all that type of stuff already created for us. In this video, we want to take a look a little bit deeper, create the level, the maze area where our character is going to walk around and move and do things. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I'm going to come over here to my asset browser and select rooms, and there is a room 1 that's already given to us. I'm just going to double click on that. When I double click on it, you notice my workspace area is now filled with a room, and under my inspector, I have some information here. Things like a background, instances, etc. Now, because right now my room is empty, I need to give it a background. What type of background? Well, that's going to depend upon a lot of different things. In this example, we're going to use kind of a lava type look. So I'm going to come over here and select background for my inspector. I'm going to go down that side panel and see where it says no sprite. I'm going to click on that button, choose sprites, and I'm going to choose the SPR_lava. So that's sprite lava. Now, you'll notice that it's only showing up here in my upper left-hand side. I really need it to cover my whole background. Well, this is a repeatable image. That means it repeats if I put the image right next to each other, side by side and top and bottom, it's going to keep on looking the same. So I'm going to come down just a little bit further to my properties and choose horizontal tile. And you can see in my workspace, it automatically goes all the way over to my left and right. In vertical tile, now it goes all the way top and bottom. Because it's repeatable, I don't have to have as big of an image. And we're really trying to go for kind of that retro 8-bit look in this tutorial, so they're using a much simpler graphic. If I hit this play in the upper right-hand side, nothing's going to happen because there's no animation. Lava, often we think of it as moving. So I'm going to stop. Come back to my property panel, and my speed I'm going to set to 0.05. This is going to be very small, and I'm going to do this for both my X and my Y, but it's going to allow to have that moving across my background screen. And because we checked the repeat horizontal and vertical checkboxes, and it's a repeatable type of image, we're going to look as one solid piece the whole time. It's just slightly moving. Next up, I'm going to create layers for my walls and my background that's not going to be lava, i.e. the places that we can walk. So let's see how to do that. So I can come over here to my layers and click on the plus to create a layer. And I'm going to choose tile. If I click on the No Tile Set button, you'll notice that there is none. So I can't create one. So what I'm going to do is come back to my assets, use this plus symbol. I'm going to create a tile set. I can double click in it, or I could click on my background. I'm just going to call this tile set 1. And my tile set is going to now need a sprite, which is just an image, but it needs it to attach to it. So I'm going to select my sprite, click on my little folder that says sprites, and then I'm going to look for the one that says SPR_TileSet. And you notice here, this is my tile set. This is just an image with a bunch of little sprites in it. I can zoom in and zoom out on this. And if I hold my middle button, I can drag and move this around like such. This is what I need. I'm good with this. And come back to my room editor over on this side. I have no tile set for my tiles 1. Now I can click on the button and I can select my tile set. Once again, I can zoom in and out here, maneuver around so I can see things. Now, tiles 1 is not real helpful, so I'm going to right click on this, rename layer. I could also press F2. I could also kind of do a slow double click, and I'm going to call this tiles background. I'm going to create one more layer for my tiles. I'm going to click the No Tile Set button on my far right hand side, choose my tile set. And this one, I'm just going to do that kind of slow double click so you can kind of see that work. Tiles. And I'm going to call it COL. That's short for collision. That's just going to make it a little bit easier when I write my code. I don't have to write this really big, long set of information. All right, so I want to put some background in. We're going to start with this grass. And if I start to just click and draw, you notice that it's just going to go wherever my mouse cursor goes. That's nice, but it's a little bit slow. So I'm going to Control Z to undo that. I'm going to select my rectangle. And now you can see, boom, I've got a whole big section there. I'm going to create some cave section. So I'm going to select this tile image. It's going to kind of make this big area like this. Kind of make it a little bit interesting so I can see some different ways I can go. Maybe I'll have a dead end room over here like this. Doesn't really matter. Just an idea. So this is all in my tiles background. Now if I hit run and play my animation, you notice that my lava moves, but my base background does not. That layer does not move. That's exactly what we would expect. All right, now I'm going to set up my collision. And just to keep things simple, I'm going to come over here, make this a little bit bigger so you can see, and choose a wall. And then instead of this rectangle, I'm going to do a line. And a line is going to be real important because this is going to be where our collision is. That is how we keep from going off that area and into the lava. So I just have to kind of draw that around like that, all the way, not missing anything, and then we can be done. I find if you click and drag, let go, you get that line, and then you can click and drag and it picks up right where you left off. That makes it just a little bit easier. Now, one common thing that people will sometimes forget is we have this interior area that does not have something in my tiles collision, so I need to fill that in as well. You can see how quick this really is as you start moving through it. Now our collision is all done. So we've got the level, we've got the area that they're going to be working in so that they can move in and walk around and stuff like that. Next, we're going to create the object player and we're going to put them on the screen. So we're going to see how we're going to do that and how we're going to be able to start controlling them. So stay tuned for our next video where that's coming up.